Absolutely, absolutely. So first of all, please raise your hands, please, if at any point in your life, any point in your life, you have experienced some type of setback. Raise your hands. Yes or yes? You've experienced a setback. Something happened that you didn't anticipate. Something happened that you had no idea that it was actually going to happen. You know, how many of you heard of the boxer Mike Tyson? Raise your hands if you heard Mike Tyson, right? And I almost feel ashamed that I'm quoting Mike Tyson, but Mike Tyson said something that I absolutely love. You know, Mike Tyson, there was one particular time, you guys remember when Iron Mike was Iron Mike? People got on the stage, they got knocked out literally in a matter of seconds. I remember there was a Mike Tyson fight, someone was delivering pizza, I ran to the front door, and I heard, oh! And when I ran back, I was like, what happened? They're like, the match is over. I said, are you serious? You remember when we were paying all that money for pay-per-view? And I said, the fight is over? And so one time when Mike Tyson was at his absolute peak, he was at his peak, and they were interviewing Mike Tyson. And so they were saying, Mike, listen, all these people are having conversations, man, and they're saying, man, you know what, nobody's ever taken you to the limit. Nobody's ever really pushed you. Nobody's really checked your stamina. You know what, they say you think you're a bully. You're sitting there, you get in the room, you just try to, you get in the ring, you try to push people around, but nobody has really tested you out yet. And so Mike, real calm and collect, he sat there, and Mike in his little voice, he said, everybody has a game plan, man, until they get hit. And so here's what I need you to realize. Here's what he said. He said that everybody has a game plan until they get hit. And so here's the question. What do you do when you get hit? What do you do when you get that phone call? And you've been going to that job in that company and you have given them all this time and this effort, and they come in one day and they say, hey, your services will no longer be needed. What do you do when you just go for that regular little visit to the doctor and unfortunately, they say, hey, we don't know how to break this news, but something came up in the test. We're going to have to run some additional tests. What do you do when this person that you stood up with, and you looked them dead in the eyes, you said for better or for worse, until death do us part, and they walk in one day and they say, I don't know if I can do this anymore. What do you do when you get hit? And so that's one of those things that's certain. Here's what I know. Scripture says that in this world you will have trials and tribulations. Not that there may be, not that there's a 50-50 chance. They said, think it not strange when you face the fiery trials which are to try you, as though some strange thing has happened. No. This is not strange. It is called life. Some things are going to happen. Do you understand that? Yes or yes? And so the question is then, what do we do? And so I can't think of a better person. I literally cannot think of a better person to share that with you, because I'm about to call up a gentleman who knows what it's like to get hit by life, to have life throw the curveball that was completely unexpected. Somebody who is not going to come up here and just talk about theory about what you should do when you face some type of setback, but somebody who has experienced the ultimate setback and over the past decade has literally been pushing forward to get past it. Now, I want you to go ahead and give a special round of applause, and let's bring him up with high energy, Mr. Louis Moria, the comeback expert. Let's give it to him.
I gotta testify, come up in the spot looking extra fly. For the day I die, I'ma touch the sky. Gotta testify, come up in the spot looking extra fly. For the day I die, I'ma touch the sky. Back when they thought pit polos would hurt the rock before Ken.
Already, I know you have to already feel equipped just by knowing the potential and what you can do to create additional streams of income for your life, knowing that there are endless possibilities. So I want to thank you, Andy Enriquez, for that incredible introduction, how we started off our Show Up For Your Life event. But I want you to do me a favor. If you're that type of person that has goals, that has dreams, I want you to raise your hand. But as you go through life, the unexpected is going to happen. And let me tell you what's going to happen. You're going to get hit. And that's what I want to talk to you about today, taking hits in life. Because one thing I know, as we all go through life, you're going to experience some hits. You're going to experience some hits when it comes to your health. You're going to experience some hits when it comes to your finances. You're going to experience some hits when it comes to your relationships. You are going to experience some hits when it comes to your goals and dreams. And the question might be, how you deal with the hits. I think about one of my favorite quotes. It's about Rocky Balboa. It was in Rocky 6. He was talking to his son. And he told his son, that son, I am coming out of retirement. And the son responded, Dad, why do you want to do that? And Rocky said to his son, because I still got it. Just like you all, you still got it. So it was announced to the world that Rocky was coming out of retirement. And when it was announced to the world, Rocky started to get all this ridicule. People started to say, you too old. You no longer the people's champion. And some of that ridicule spilled over to his son's shoulders. And Rocky started to see now that his son was making excuses. His son was pointing fingers. His son wasn't being his own man. And so Rocky had enough. And he asked him out to come to the alleyway. And he said, life ain't about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep pushing forward. It's about how much you can take and keep pushing forward. And then he says this, and this is what I love. He says, nobody hit you hard in life. And don't we all know that too well. I never forget the day, July 5th, 2003. It was a beautiful day. I was on my way to go see my cousin Steve. And I made a left-hand turn on a two-way street. I was going southbound, another car was going northbound. And I saw this car start to veer in my lane. And in my mind, I'm starting to have flashbacks. Because in 2000, a lady ran a stop sign and she hit me. So I overreacted. And I veered too close to the curb. And when I veered too close to the curb, my back tire hit the curb, and that made me propel off my motorcycle. And I landed on my back on a concrete island. I'm looking up at the sky. I'm saying, Lewis, man, get up. I said, come on, man, get up. And so with everything in my body, I do get up, but then I fall right back down. People observing the accident and saying, man, stay down, stay down. The ambulance has been called. Do you have anyone you can call? I said, yes. Call my older sister, Tracy. And so the ambulance come, and they put a mask in my mouth, and they put me to sleep. I find myself waking up in the hospital, and my family is before the bed. As I open up my eyes, my mom approached the bed, and that motherly, tenderly love, she stroked my forehead. She said, Louis, you know you've been in a serious motorcycle accident. I said, Mom, it's gonna be okay. I just wanted to comfort her. And out of nowhere, my younger sister, LaWanda, she says, Louis, can you move your toes? And I attempted to move my toes, but I couldn't move. The family looked at one another with disbelief because I couldn't move. Mama standing by the bedside, holding my hand. I wanted to reach up. I wanted to give her a hug, but I couldn't move. Mama said, baby, lay here, lay here. You've been in a serious motorcycle accident, and now you're gonna have surgery. So naturally, I went to the surgery. Yes, surgery was successful. I find myself back in the room like we all do, praying, thanking God that I'm still here, thanking God that He didn't take my life. And all of a sudden, the doctor comes to the room. He says, Mr. Moore. I said, yes, it's your doctor that performed the surgery. You mind if I talk to you? I said, yeah, doctor, you can talk to me. He said, Louis, great news. Your surgery was successful, but I have to be honest with you. You might never walk again. Never walk again, ladies and gentlemen. Never walk again. And here I am, just laying in bed, tears coming out of my eyes, and getting emotional. But then I reflected on a quote by Les Brown, and it says, sometimes in life, you might be given a word, but it's up to you to accept the word. And so yes, I was given a word, and the word is, I might never walk again. But even though that was a doctor's report, it was up to me to accept the word. So here's what I know. As we all continue to live our lives, we might be given a word. You might be given a word saying that you're too old to go after your goals and dreams. You might be given a word saying, you know what, the economy is slow. You can't go out and make any money if it's proven wrong today. You might be given a word that the love of your life say to you, I no longer want to be in this relationship. But it's up to you to accept the word. Robert Schubert says, tough times don't last, but tough people do. And I told myself that I'm going to be tough. Because I remember the words of Rocky Balboa. It says, life ain't about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep pushing forward. It's about how much you can take and keep pushing forward. I remember one of the biggest losses I ever had. I was at my family house. I was still recovering, just taking it easy. Then all of a sudden, an ad come across the television screen. Passive income from ATM machines. I get excited. I write down the number. And then I start to see, ooh, it's a large investment. So large, I didn't have all the money. And so I thought about my brother. And I gave my brother a call. I said, my brother Travis, throughout all the years, you and I have always did some investing, but we have never invested together. Would you be willing to invest with me? And he says, yes, but we have to do our due diligence. And so we asked for a contract. We asked, could we have a 3-way call with the company? And we were able to talk to the CEO. Everything sounds good. Everything looked good. We decided, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and invest $14,000 in ATM machines. We get excited. We get the ATM machines with the ATM machines in stores. The first month, we made a couple of $200. And I'm saying to myself, yes, now I can buy herbs for my body to heal. The second month, we made another couple of $200. And I'm saying, you know what, I'm gonna buy me another suit. The third month, we didn't make $200. We made $30. That's $30. And I'm saying to myself, wait a minute, maybe this is just a slow month. Then the fourth month comes around, and we didn't make anything. And I'm saying to myself, wait a minute, this is how they didn't explain it this way. And so I decided to get the contract, and I saw that there was a number you can call to call the company to inquire on what's happening when you make an investment. And I reached out to the company, and I called, and I didn't get no answer. So the next day, persistent, I called again. And again, I didn't get no answer. The third day I called, I didn't get no answer. Then the fourth day, I got this tone we all familiar with. I got nah. The number you're calling is disconnected. So immediately, I looked at that contract again, and I saw there was another number you can call to find out about your investment. And I called the number, and someone answered the phone. And they told me that this company went out of business, that this company is a scam. And I said to myself, why me? Why me? I'm a good guy. I don't take advantage of people. I don't do anybody wrong. And I know this, I'm not the only one that say, why me? Why me? When I go to a job, now they call me up and say, your service is no longer needed. Why me? When you are making a point to have a healthy lifestyle, and then you go to the doctor and you might get diagnosed and saying that you have a health disease. Why me when you have someone that you have given your all to, and they say that I don't want to be in this relationship anymore? I got hit, ladies and gentlemen. But I remember the words of Rocky Balboa. He says, life ain't about how hard you get hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep pushing forward. It's about how much you can take and keep pushing forward. I remember I was at dinner with my girlfriend at the time, really having a good time, looking her in the eyes, saying, this is the one. This is the one. And all of a sudden, my phone rings. We was having such a good time, I wasn't going to answer it. But something came over me and said, Lewis, answer your phone. Answer your phone. So I answered my phone, and my neighbor Joan calls. He says, Lewis, your house is on fire. I said, what? My house is on fire? I looked at my girlfriend at the time. I just threw some money on the table, and we got in our car, and I drove home as fast as I could. I know she was scared, but I got home. I drove up, and you have to understand that all my neighbors were outside just looking at the house full of smoke. And I drove up, and I'm thinking, I pushed the garage door, but it didn't open because the water shortened the fire. It put the fire out. I opened up the door, poof, smoke everywhere. I proceeded inside the house, and I'm starting to say, wait a minute, what did I do? And then I remember, here I am, attempting to be a romantic. I left the candle burning. I walked upstairs and I saw that the sprinkler system came on and put the fire out. But it continued to run, and it also damaged the house. The fire department came into the house, they went to the garage and turned the water off and said, Lewis, because of the chemicals, because of your fire, you can no longer stay here. So my girlfriend at the time, I had to get a hotel. I went to the hotel and I'm feeling stressed, and I just went to sleep. I woke up that next morning and I'm thinking, Lewis, what's positive about this incident? You're taking your girlfriend out to dinner, you get a phone call, your house is on fire. Now you have to deal with all the insurance and stuff. And then she says to me, Lewis, honey, you mind if I talk to you? I said, yeah, dear, you can talk to me. She said, Lewis, I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. And she just left. She just left the room, ladies and gentlemen. And I remember just sitting on the bed, and I closed my eyes, and I said, God grant me the serenity for things I cannot change. I cannot change the fact that she wanted to leave me. The courage to change the things that I can. I told myself, I will never, ever do this to anyone. And the wisdom to know the difference. I need to make better selections. But I also said, no matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, that I'm going to make it. And here's what I want to say to you. No matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, you're going to make it. You're going to make it when it comes to building your finances because you know about multiple income streams. You know about how you can generate income now. You're going to make it when it comes to you living out your goals and dreams because you know that it's important for you to show up for your life. No matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, you're going to make it. Even though I got hit, I told myself that I'm going to make it. So after all that, there's 5 things that I want to share with you, I want to leave with you, that I want you to write down about when you get hit in life, you have to follow this process. The first thing is, you have to grab control of your mindset. Because maybe as you listen to me right now, you weren't necessarily in a motorcycle accident. You weren't in a relationship. You didn't lose thousands of dollars, but you got hit. Steve Duncanson says, life's a battle for territory. And once you start fighting for what you want, what you don't want will automatically take over. And let me tell you what that fight is. That fight is in your mind. I had to tell myself, Lewis, you can make it. I had to tell myself, hey, this situation ain't gonna destroy my life. I had to tell myself, hey, the doctor is giving you the word, but you don't have to accept the word. I had to tell myself, I will find love again, and I have. I had to tell myself, this too shall pass. The first thing, ladies and gentlemen, when you get hit by life, you immediately have to grab control of your mindset. Because if you don't, you're going to start thinking weary things. And that don't have to be the case. So things that I did, I literally intentionally made a point to read my word. I intentionally made a point to read books to equip myself. I intentionally made a point to listen to audios to equip my thinking. So when tough times come, I know that I still can pursue. So the first thing you have to do, you have to grab control of your mindset. Step number 2, when it comes to getting hits in life, you have to be willing to keep pushing forward. Despite the setbacks, despite the disappointments, despite the challenges that come in your life. Because I kept pushing forward, things started to happen for me. I started to acknowledge it wasn't that bad. I started to see that there are possibilities. I started to see that I can be the man that I know I can be. And so, although I had pain at times, although I didn't feel like doing it at times, I was willing to keep pushing forward. So immediately, you got to say to yourself, grab control of your mindset, keep pushing forward. Step number 3 is, you can't quit. As I stand before you, it's been over 12 years. 12 years since I went from a wheelchair, since I went from a walker, since I went from a quad cane, and now I'm on a single cane. And I guarantee you, I'm not going to stop until I'm walking without assistance, all because of that mind shift. That I won't quit. I do know this. As I was going through those tough times, yes, I had many emotions that come through my body, similar to I know you all experience. But I do know this. If you're willing to remind yourself that I will not quit, that I will do it in spite of how I might be feeling. Because you know that you have to do it in spite of the emotions. Sometimes you don't feel like doing it. You have to be willing to not quit. You have to be willing to stand up inside yourself, to be willing to keep pushing forward and deciding not to quit. It sounds simple, but many people are not willing to do it. So I want to make sure I'm putting this in perspective for you all. Because I know the tough times are going to hit. They will continue to hit. But you coming from this mindset, this perspective, your life is going to be different. So let's talk about step number 4. Everyone in their life should have a leader. The person that's leading me is my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Yeah. He said something to me that resonated to me as I really started getting to my word. He said things that really touched me at a cellular level. We all know this one. It's very important for you to make sure that you are equipping yourself in the word. That's my spiritual leader. And I'm going to share something with you. We all have someone that's leading our life. But you have to take a look at your life and ask yourself the question, who's leading my life? He says, be of good cheer because I overcome the world. And greater that's in he that's in you, that's in the world. And so I said to myself, I'm not going to be negative. That's one of the things that I always say to myself as he leads my life. I understand that we all have people that we look up to, that we believe in, that we give them that opportunity to lead us. But are they leading your life the way you know it should be led, in which you're going for your goals and your dreams? And when you get hit, you start to continue to acknowledge that in spite of it all, I will still do what I'm supposed to do. Are you with me? Yes. Are you feeling me? Yes. Is this resonating with you? Yes. Ask yourself the questions, who leads in my life? And write it down on a piece of paper. Because you have to remind yourself, who's leading my life? And step number 5. You know it takes effort. Y'all see me struggling. Y'all think I'm struggling, but I'm just putting forth the effort. It takes effort to stand up inside myself and say, no, I'm not going to be on no cane. It takes effort to say to myself that, no, I'm not going to be average. It takes effort to know that I'm going to do whatever I have to do to be healthy so I can have a firm, strong body. It takes effort for me to take time out to read books, to equip myself to say that, you know what, I'm going to have conversation. It's going to be meaningful. It's going to be impactful. It's going to be this conversation that can help put things in perspective with people in which their lives can be changed. It takes effort. Step number 5, it takes effort. You got to remind yourself. When you don't feel like doing it sometimes, it takes effort. It takes effort for me to show up for my life, for me to participate in my own rescue, for me to do the things I know I'm supposed to do, because I know that I got hit, but I'm going to share this with you before I get off this stage. Step number 1, grab control of your mindset. Work on yourself, develop yourself. Be willing to do what you have to do so you don't lose focus when the tough times come. Step number 2, you gotta be willing to keep pushing forward. Step number 3, you can't quit. Because it's impossible, ladies and gentlemen. It's impossible to stop a man or woman who will not quit. Step number 4, ask yourself the question. When you at home, when you have time with yourself, when you're reflecting on your life, who's leading my life? Step number 5, I'm gonna put effort. When I get hit, when I know I need to show up for my life, when I know I need to make some changes, because if I don't, nobody else will. So before I leave you, things I like to tell people that I think resonates with you all. When life knocks you down, you don't have to stay there.
Let's bring the energy up. Let's talk about it. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I tell you one thing. It's easy to talk theory. It's easy to talk theory, but it's completely different when you have somebody that has actually lived it, that has walked the walk. You know, I remember, yes, let's give Lewis another round of applause.
Yeah.